Alrighty, so first half of this. Let's see, Yggdrasil path, map review, this is how we play it. Different strategies. If we're running triple tank, I think the biggest thing about that is that I'm learning the controls. The biggest thing about triple tank is you rotate and you play in the line of sight behind this corner for heals. You play in the line of sight of in this small room for heals. Or you play all the way over here in this back room. No, Doge, I'm streaming it to myself, you dingus. Okay, we have one of Kami's replays for this. One of our strategies, normally, let's say I had the fill for a game because we don't have players. What I do is, we're running 2-2-2, we have a Cap Magic, or Cap Strange, Magic, we could have Iron Man, or Psylocke, or whatever your hog would play. If we're playing that, we let them push this point up to this corner, and this cart, you leave it around this area, while healers sit behind this corner, that way they can't get killed, but you don't over aggro past to where you can get seen from this line of sight over here. What I do right now is, especially if it's going to be communicated games, I play up here in this corner, and I just sit here. Because most people decide to play right on this ledge, and say Magic or any character that can do a lot of area damage gets a lot of value right here when opponents stack up. Now if they don't play here and they play down there, then you play right in front of the cart, because they're at a height disadvantage and they can't see you. On the opposite side, say you're on offense, say they're holding triple tank, you just flank top left, or you find a way to make it through the right side. Either one. Dive normally counters triple tank, or you can go overwhelming damage, but we don't play that as well as dive. Another thing we could do is, if they have Penny Parker, which for some reason we really suck against Penny, especially a guy named Doge, he doesn't know what to do. But Penny's normally put nest back in this corner here, or they put a nest over here, or this is res beacon. What we will do if we ever run across that, push the cart up to this corner. Say we're getting held here, we can go up, and it is completely possible that we just play up here on height. It's not impossible to play height. Or if we even have to, we could take a long flank around through this little door here, go through here, go up, you go through this main area, and you end up there through that door. And you play high. If they have, let's say, heavy dive, most dive, when they engage from this door, or up here in this corridor. You gotta watch those two areas, communicate, and once we get over here, you cannot play on right side of cart, as you get lost in vision. Or if they have Groot, because Groot's very good for this first point, you cannot play too far up, as the Groot will wall you off and you explode. See, like, let's see, red team's running Groot here. They probably get a good pick off of the Groot choice over here. Oh no, they go Venom. On my Twitch. MR. Let's see, in this situation, they're playing stall, kinda. In this game. So you see the Cat, Magic, Blade. They're gonna stall the cart because they also have a rocket. This positioning is pretty good, considering they right now they can't see the other far back line, and they're not really getting pressured back here. And minus a Venom that's about to dive, they could even play a slightly more to the right, and they wouldn't be able to be seen by any of those players. As we watch, you can see the magic holding the corner that I stated. It's a very good spot to hold.
Take this.
Let's see. They rocket ulted very far back. You kite it far left, which would be over here. Because before they place, they're up here. If they ulted right there, you kite back, you just play over here. Or if you feel confident enough, you play on the right side here and hope they're not as intelligent enough to peek but not push. As we move further in, they won the point. In this type of situation, doesn't matter what they're doing here. Most of the time, healers are either going to play in this room. You would play here if they don't have heavy dive. You play here, and the tanks stay in visible line of sight. Or you play back left back here because easy to get away, easy cut line if you're getting pressured. Avoid playing on the right side as much at all costs because this is very open.
Damage.
You ain't doing shit, bro.
I was born ready. Taste cold steel.
See, blue really stopped it here with a good push. On offense here, healers, they kind of do have to play up because this is a little hill. Healers can try and play up here, depending on what the other teams are running and how far up your tanks push. But otherwise, you probably just have to play on this back left, kind of where the invis was, because there's not much good places to play in this situation for a support. You don't see shit.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Do your
TPs in this situation, say offense were TPing back, this strange placed their TP in one of the worst spots possible. This is something Hane would do. You wouldn't want to do that. Instead, you would probably place the portal over here, facing that way towards this door. That way they can only peek you from this area, but you'll also own this entire front area over them, and you'll most likely survive longer for a stall, or you win the fight if you play it correctly. On defense, offense, if they portal back and they play it down there, if you don't have dive, you have to play the alleyway, and you just gotta hope you do better. If you have dive, just go through the back door. It's so much easier to go through a back door.
worst.
There's still a chance to stop them. They hit a checkpoint.
See here, unfortunately, this team did not get a chance to play this corner. But, shut up, Doge. But in this corner, normally you can let them push it around this area, but you don't want to push it too far because the supports,
Now might be a good
you
time
let
to
them
stop
push
them.
it a little further. Sometimes you have to give up space to play a better spot. You let them push it up to, see if the car can hurry up and get over here, to about right here. This is about the furthest you want card to go. They're playing there. That's unfortunate. But what you want to do is you want to have your tanks playing this corner here, and your supports playing the stairs. The stairs is a very strong spot for supports to play. If you're not playing these stairs as a support, you aren't playing in the right position. See if, let's say this Emma is playing here and the supports are playing here, it's a more gathered area that you have resources to get out. But if, say, they have small compact dive, like the Venom, then you want to be near each other, and you can be right here, you're close together, and you still can keep a line of sight on there without being killed by, like, this mag who's over there. If he was facing this way, he can't see you. He can't really hurt you. If your Emma played up there, you have a good line of sight on your Emma, and you have ways to get out.
Hell yeah.
Psionic surge.
Taste me.
When cards up here, you, depending on your team comp, if you're playing dive, you gotta play more aggro, so a support's probably gonna end up having to play on height, or both supports playing it carefully, playing it intellectually. While on the other hand, if you're pushing this area, say they are playing the stairs like you're supposed to, there's not much ways to get past it. If you have dive, you push far right. This far right door over there, you push, you get behind. Try and force them forward off the stairs. If you don't have dive, you're gonna have to play out here and try and hit them poking if they step too far back. But that's really all you can do there. On offense here, if they're playing behind this corner, then you have to push out, break this small building. This building breaks, you play on this building, and you have a peek of them over there. If they're not playing that corner and they're playing height, you simply contest them from the opposite height. This bridge could be there, you could play from this little room, you could play from this height over here. Either of those work. If you're playing heavy poke on defense, nobody's in this room. This is the room that gets you killed every single time. Do not play this room. You always play over here. Yeah, they may have, maybe someone dives and they come through this door, but if they come through this door, they have to go back out through this door or they die. Simple as that. So you keep watch of where they're going when they're entering and exiting. This rocket ult placement is very bad. I'm surprised it stayed alive for some simple time. You probably want to place it more back behind this corner, that way it can't be broken. Unless you're engaging with it. See, blue won this point. I don't know if they win the whole game after this. I think it switches. Yeah, they don't cap here. Which means the game ends. But basically, I want to see if they TP.
There's still a chance to stop them.
Oh, because they did get this far. This is a good corner to play. Let's say they have a very, very strong comp playing in this corridor. Maybe they have a Groot. Maybe they have high poke like Punisher and Bucky. People who would absolutely run this hallway. This hallway is not your only way out. I don't know how much times I have to emphasize this, but there is 4 different ways to get to point. You can play back left height, which is a good height to play, but even better, which I don't think is realized enough, is you can go through this right side and you can either have height. This is good if they're playing dive, you have height, you play more comfortable. Or you could go right below, take this room, and you have this if they're playing poke and you don't want to. If they have dive, do not play in this room. On offense, if they're coming through that, you just stack that, and then supports can sit back here on this door, or they can sit back here, basically almost behind the cart. You do not want to be seen in that hole as a support. Like this close positioning, they're stacking that hole, they're dead. The cloak's gonna die, guaranteed. See, they pushed, and these supports, stupidly, they decided to spread apart, miles apart. You have a rocket far left, looking completely clueless. He's probably going to die first. You have a cloak over here by herself. You have them fully re-engaging with their dive. And your supports are spread apart. You don't want to do that. You guys got to choose together as a spot where you're going to play. If you're going to play over here, you both play over here. If you're going to play near the door, you play both sides. If they're pushing from back there, you have no choice but to play from back here. That's a terrible rocket ult placement. This rocket is ass. I believe, from what I remember, rocket ult can go up where this venom is. Rocket ult can go up there. Rocket ult can be placed back here. Rocket ult can be placed behind this corner. But you don't want to play straight up in the middle of the open against a team whose entire comp is melee. They have a Blade, a Wolf, a Magic, and an Emma. And he ulted on the floor. Don't be a retard like him. Since nobody pushes at third point, I'm going to have to do the demonstration without the cart. First things first, let the cart every single time. Just let the cart get at least to this corner. There's no point in playing up here because if you lose that, you give up this corner too easily. You best place the first stop it is when you get to play this corner. This wall breaks every time. This wall breaks every time. If you guys have the great opportunity on offense, you break this wall, you might be able to peek people playing far back height, say a Punisher as a turret. Let's say they have a turret on this little ledge right here, or you have a like a Cloak and Dagger playing up here trying to heal the team. It's free picks from there, and then if you break this wall on defense, their support have to play all the way back here, which means they have no line of sight in the right side, which means if one of their tanks overextends, they're gonna die very easily. To be very careful and dive, as dive has a very good rotation. If they're intelligent, they'll find a way up here, and they'll appear behind you at about this area, which would be your supports. Most likely will play over here, keep your tanks alive. There's also, say you have Punisher, you have a good Hela, someone who can poke from range that is very skilled. You can put him up here, pair him with like a rocket or someone who can heal from far away, maybe a shark if you're running triple heal. You pair the shark up here with that 1 DPS, and they get a free view of this whole entire area without really being able to be dived. This spot is not played enough. Say they push it a little too far in this corner and they're like right here on this half. You could play back here as a DPS, not as a support. The supports will never play in this corridor. That's how you lose a fight. You also do not want to play this height as a support. This height is not a support area. You only play it if you're a poke DPS and the cart is all the way over there. You never want to fight for this height unless you're on offense. If you're on offense and the cart gets pushed to this area, you can play up here. You have free poke to their entire backline. On offense too, if you get stuck here, say you're stuck right here because they're playing too hard, you now own this height. You play this height and you poke them from over here, or like this area was used before, you can play back here, you have poke over here, or you could take the full flank route, engage up here, and take the height of their background. This room is only good if you need to escape as a support, and then you're playing right there, you have this tiny room. You can only be hit from over there. But otherwise, you want to be playing down here behind this wall. You always want to have some sort of natural cover where you're playing. And then finally, recontesting at the very end when the point is right here. You want to recontest it from the right door. Yeah, the right door. And with this right door, everyone's going to automatically play it. So if they're playing it very well, don't forget there is a left door. Nobody ever uses it. Nobody ever plays it for some reason. But there is a left door. You can play the left door. Go out it sometimes. Don't, as a support, you never want to play up here, as it is open to the entire front side of the game. Anyone up here, you're completely fried instantly. And if you're playing, let's say DPS, and you need to sit near spawn, because the point's right there on that corner near that first pillar, don't ever use this height. This height's suicide. You're so visible from so many areas. The final thing is, I see a lot of people do it. Don't forget this corner exists. There's a health pack here too. If you have to play here as a tank, the peek, keep peeking, get heals while you're playing, because your supports could be over there, you could be right here, and you're holding a wall. And the only way to break that wall is if they play the height, in which you just back up to the full left side. You play full left side. Not that hard. Or if they flank through this little open window, because people forget this exists. If they flank from this window, anything right here will die. 90% of the time. They will access this health pack before you. And then, last thing. This tree, when it breaks, it is still tall enough for you to hide behind. So, if you have to hide behind it on Raccoon or Cloak, don't be scared to hide behind a log. They say, another thing it helps with is, say there's a Jeff, and he ults in this area. If you're playing around this log, you just play around it, and wherever the center of his ult is, say it's right here, you play this side of the log, you're not eaten. Unless he ults on top of it, you're perfectly fine. That's all I have so far for this map review. Let me know if you need anything else on it. But that's about it.